Good afternoon, Mr. Vanaheerens. It's a pleasure to have you. We appreciate you taking the time to be with us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
Let's talk about business regulation, shall we? Kazakhstan was judged to be the fastest reformer in World Bank's Ease of Doing Business 2011 survey. In this context, how does McKenzie assess Kazakhstan's progress in business regulation reforms?
Well, I mean, from our perspective, we see that a lot of progress has been made, and the results from that study really show that Kazakhstan has come out of the global financial crisis probably a bit quicker than some of the other countries, and on top of that, they have done, I think, what they could do to reap the benefits of that and making sure that their regulatory environment was keeping up with that. And there are a couple of examples which are very much cherished developments by our clients, I would say. For instance, registrations of companies, where there is now one-stop shop. In the past, you had to go through 3 different registers. Now it's only the Minister of Justice, which is obviously simplification of the process. The other piece where we expect a lot from is the reduction of regulatory visits and regulatory audits of companies, because it's obviously important that companies are compliant, but it's also important that compliance programs are set up transparent and in a uniform way, so that companies can really anticipate as to what will be required to be compliant. And that's, I guess, a theme which comes through also if we look at our compliance programs in the rest of the world. A lot of our clients are very much into compliance and all of that, but good compliance programs obviously require that also the expectations the government has are clear and are not changing or transparent, and that's, I guess, an important part of what the business community is looking for as well.
In general, how does McKenzie view Kazakhstan investment climate?
Well, we've been here for 16 years, and we do service quite a lot of the foreign companies doing business in Kazakhstan in many different ways, and we service them from contractual work, labor regulation, investment projects, and all of that. So we see a quite broad spectrum of things coming, and it's fair to say that a lot of our clients see Kazakhstan as one of the most interesting emerging markets. And if you ask our clients why that is the case, they often cite a couple of reasons. One is that it's a company which is it's a country which is really tuned with market economy. It's also quite stable, and thirdly, it's quite open for foreign investment, and the country tries to deal with that in a very constructive and cohesive and comprehensive way as well. I mean, if you look at the whole initiatives, one of the reasons we are here with the Foreign Investors Council, it's really a tribute to that idea of making sure that foreign investment is one of the key drivers and is hence welcomed for the rebuilding of this economy, and that is what has happened over the last 20 years. We heard the stories quite clear this morning in the session.
Mr. Vanaheerens, with so much experience in this country, it would be interesting to know how do you assess Kazakhstan's efforts to reform its legal system?
As far as the legal system is concerned, I think it's fair to say that Kazakhstan has made quite a lot of progress, and I'm sure there are still a lot of things to be done, but just to cite a couple of examples where Kazakhstan, in our experience at least, if we compare to other emerging markets and especially the markets in this region, financial sector regulation. I mean, it was crucial that a good regulation was put together to make sure that the banks were able to get through the debt crisis, but that was more or less successfully done. So getting this financial regulatory system in place was obviously key. The other piece which is quite often cited internally is that the tax code, which is quite uniform and relatively comprehensive. Really, tax codes are never comprehensive, as we know, but the tax code here is quite comprehensive and covers really what it should cover, to give enough guidance to people trying to set up structures and then knowing what the rules would be. Another piece which attracts a lot of praise as well, I believe, is the e-government structures which are around. I mean, we just heard also the interest of the Prime Minister in getting very much into this digital world and all of that. And I guess it's absolutely crucial that also governments try to spend enough time and enough efforts in trying to organize their communication with the businesses and with the citizens, really, through the new era of internet and broadband internet, and hence also the comments we made on the penetration of broadband internet this morning in the Foreign Investors Council as to what we would like to see what Kazakhstan should be doing to get up to the OECD average of 24 to 100 inhabitants in the next 3 or 4 years, and we made some suggested legislative changes to achieve that. That I guess is what we want to have. Now maybe one last thing obviously is the court systems. You need to have court systems which are transparent and fair and impartial, and one of the pieces which is quite attractive here is that all decisions of not only the Supreme Court but also of the other courts are available online for research, and hence that's helpful, because then you can really try to guide your clients as to what is expected from the legal system. Obviously we all know that courts decide on specific facts, so you can never always predict what an outcome of a court will be. That's the case in any jurisdiction, and that's good as well, because that's the reason why you have courts. But trying to make sure that you have a framework and you know what the decisions are, and if they come out they are transparent and you can compare them and try to criticize them or look at them in such a way that that is how the legal development is, I think, has to develop. I mean, that's how it goes in other countries as well, and that has how it has gone in Europe and in the US, and I'm sure that will be coming here as well.
Sir, well, thank you very much for sharing your view with us. It's been very helpful. We wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. Thank you.